Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive. John Paul Rayoff, one of our deputy executives here in the county, just kind of giving you an update of what's going on in the county. Interesting enough, earlier today I just did an interview, if you will, kind of a Google thing with some of the other public officials. Obviously Mayor Dion of the city of Utica, Rick Stathakis out of Shelby Township, and Mike Taylor from Sterling Heights. We did something for kind of their community meet and let people know what's going on. But in that conversation, one of the things that really came to light is here in Macomb County, we're very fortunate. Not only we have the public stepping up to meet the challenge to try to help us deal with this crisis that we're seeing, and internally as an organization, but you know, there isn't one public official here in Macomb County that has tried to politicize this issue. It's not about a blame game and trying to figure out how do we, use this for a political advantage. It's trying to figure out how do we come together to solve this problem. There's been an incredible amount of unity in Macomb County during this crisis to try to figure out how do we resolve it on behalf of the public the best we can. So, the partnerships that we've been able to garner during this process really makes me realize, Macomb County is very unique because we're not seeing that, whether it's statewide or even on a national level. There tends to be the politicization of this, people wanting to use it to their advantage, and yet here in Macomb we have not seen that, and for that I'm extremely thankful, and most importantly, as I mentioned earlier, the public support and their willingness to be part of the solution, following CDC guidelines, wearing the mask, again, not because they have to, but because they want to, and they want to be part of the voluntary compliance. So it does make a difference, and so with that, we know the numbers are going to be a concern here in Macomb County. I think because there has been opening of schools, opening the economy, and that interaction, but we are still in a far better place than we were during the month of April, specifically here in Macomb County. So how are we looking as far as
Mark, we've seen an increased trend over the past 2 weeks, but as you've highlighted, as we've re-engaged different segments of the economy, as individuals are out there participating in actually in-person learning environments, those interactions have kind of increased, and what we've seen here is the positivity rate slip into the high 6s, low 7s. We've also seen an increase in cases, and testing is through the roof, which is actually a positive thing for our community. We had the highest test date ever yesterday at Macomb County's testing site, with over 500 individuals being tested at our site alone. That's a good thing because it illustrates the public wanting to be a part of the solution, whether they feel symptomatic, whether they were close contact, whether it's just something that went awry here. They're going, they're engaging the testing site, they're getting the definitive information of if they contracted the virus, and then they're following the guidelines that are provided by our health department. Again, it's not an environment where you're going to get scolded or someone's going to wag a finger at you and tell you did something bad. No, they're going to provide reputable healthcare information, real direction that will put you and your family in a better position to not only make more informed decisions, but also to make sure you're protecting you and your friends and family.
Yeah, that's important, what you just said. We're not here to be punitive.
No.
We're here to be part of the solution. How do we work with whoever and wherever this it might happen? And yet there's some people that want to continue to be critical and blame somebody if somebody becomes a test positive. So fortunately we don't see that. Every environment, the potential for something to happen and somebody to contract the actual coronavirus is still there. So it can happen, whether it's in a school, whether a municipality, even in your home. We know the potential of it is there because it hasn't gone away. Again, it's still a concern, a continuous state of concern, and nobody knows when that's going to end. So you need to keep reminding yourself to keep yourself safe, your family safe. We keep reminding everybody to do the same thing. But in the meantime, we're going to work with any entity, anyone or any individual that has contracted it or has a concern. And again, the test sites are there. They're available. MacombGov.org. If you're concerned, you just want to get checked, please take advantage of that. The testing is there, and we're going to continue to allow that. And as we mentioned, we have really ramped it up, and even some of the private businesses have decided that they're going to be providing test sites as well. So again, this hasn't gone away. We don't know that it's going to anytime soon, but we know one thing, here in Macomb County, we're united to try to figure out how do we work together to help be part of the solution and solve the problem.
Mark, as you've said, it's been a partnership-driven model, whether it's the private sector assisting with the healthcare response, the great working relationship we have with the healthcare systems across the county too, our municipal leaders stepping up, being part of that strategic response when we look at the whole notion of that voluntary compliance, engaging folks from the public safety side and from those that represent the public, whether it's the boards and commissions or the chief elected officials in those communities, coming together with the county, ensuring that information is disseminated in the most appropriate way. And then if there are challenges, responding collectively, as you said, not to be punitive, but to help better guide and provide clearance. Because whether it's a new pandemic order, whether it's something that's coming down from the state regulation agency, whether it's something that's coming down with a new guideline from the CDC and everything, we're juggling a lot of balls right now, but I think we're getting that clear perspective as we work together on these. these elements.
And we're ready. If there's an incident that happens at a particular business, we're seeing what's happening out in Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. It's not that they shut down all of Washtenaw County, but they did shut down the school, and they're working with the health department out in Washtenaw County. So here in Macomb County, if it's a business, if it's a school, whatever that might, a municipality, we will work with them. And if there's a need to do something on a localized basis, we will do that. But in the meantime, whatever decisions are made, it should be something that's, I guess, if you will, statewide. And we're relying upon our legislatures to work with the governor to figure out, what's the best way forward. We don't want to continue to see that fight and, the kind of the disengaging of the two entities. There is a reason why we have this representative democracy. We want to see them come together to help us solve this problem on a local level. County by county, municipality by municipality. Boy, you talk about adding to the confusion with, orders, directives, laws. That would really be problematic. So no one wants that. I don't think that's the direction we're heading in. But being cautionary, we're always watching what's happening, especially what's coming out of Lansing. So with that being said, if you put it into perspective, Macomb County's always been part of the solution. We just kind of announced the census data where we're at as a county. Amazing, once again. And again, this I say once again because 2010, we were the lead county back in 2010. This time around again, 2020, Macomb County was #1 amongst large counties, and that's counties with a population of 500,000 or greater, not only in the state of Michigan, but in the entire country with responses to the census. And that's so important, again, for many different reasons. But even if you look at it from a lesser perspective, meaning of all counties in the state of Michigan, we were #2. Even some of the smallest counties, where sometimes it's not as difficult to get people to comply and to fill it out, we were #2 in the entire state of Michigan of all counties. So that says a lot, and I think people realize, that message we get out, Census 2020, bring back our money. This helps us with road funding. It helps us with funding for education, for some of the support, community support opportunities, and even representation at a national level and even at a local level. So this is it was really important for us to do that, and we did. Macomb County shined once again and responded. So Macomb County's always been, kind of unified in trying to figure out how do we solve problems and how do we come together. And I think that census, if you will, the report we just got back from the census that we were #1 in the entire country, that says a lot. That's a telling statement for Macomb County residents.
Mark, it's another unique opportunity for individuals to participate in this grand experiment of government that we have. Being counted gives you an opportunity to bring more resources to the community and use them for the betterment and enhancement of the community. I think that's where we've excelled because we got the narrative out there. We showed people that participating. It gives you that voice. The same way we're in the next 2 weeks here, people are going to have the opportunity to go to the polls. That is what absolutely is strategically important, not only to position the county in the best point to respond to whatever challenge comes up, but also to bring those opportunities, whether it's bringing in other road funding, whether it's bringing in opportunities to innovate education, whether it's looking at advancements in public health, whether it's just advocating for whatever thing drives people crazy at the end of their driveway. These are the types of things that we can do collectively, and the census is a prime example and a success that we have here in the county.
Yeah, and we have. And a couple of other updates, things that we're doing here. The Sheriff's Department, this Saturday, they're going to be opening up an opportunity for people with prescription medication that they want to get rid of. You don't flush it down the toilet, you don't throw it in the garbage, but yet we know people have them sometimes in a cabinet above the refrigerator, medicine cabinet, I guess, if you will. But with that being said, they just don't know how to dispose of it properly. Well, the Sheriff's Department will be taking that medication. So from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock this Saturday, you can go to the Macomb County Sheriff's Office, Elizabeth Road, and drop that off. They will willingly accept it, and they will have it properly disposed of. So extremely important. We know there are still concerns with people having access, whether it's a family member or a friend coming over that you're not recognizing, trying to, steal some of that medication and using it for improper purposes. And so we know there's still this uptick, if you will, with people and, the opioid crisis and, not so much, the suicide issue, but the real issue we're seeing right now is the overdose and the drug-related concerns in the community as well. So we're hoping maybe if you can encourage a parent, maybe an elderly parent that has this, maybe you can help by taking some of that off their hands and dropping it off over at the Sheriff's Department, or even if you yourself have the ability to do so and you just don't know what to do with it, drop it off at the Sheriff's Department this Saturday, 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock. You have an opportunity to do that here in Macomb County, and we're hoping that people will engage. On another public safety note, here in Macomb County, we've made a commitment to figure out how do we deal with the issues that we're seeing when it comes to the criminal justice reform. And we just made the announcement that we now have a public defender, a full-blown public defender's office here in Macomb County, and that now is Tom Tomko, who has taken on that role. Alicia as well as Adrian are two staff personnel that he has hired. They'll be the first staff attorneys working in that office, and we're extremely proud of that here in Macomb County, because sometimes defendants need proper representation from, I guess if you will, a organization here within the county that truly is going to be responsive and meaning you kind of level the playing field and make it fair, so that we know that if somebody is going to be, I guess if you will, brought in on some type of charges, that they're given fair opportunity through the process to be represented, and that's extremely important. No one ever wants the wrong person going to jail for something maybe they didn't do, and so with that, I think there's been a lot of support even from the bench here in Macomb County and people across all sectors. So we're fortunate to have done that here in the county.
Mark, it's an incredibly progressive step, not only as we look at the justice system here in Macomb County, but to provide individuals that may not have the means to provide a robust representation if they do have to unfortunately engage in that criminal justice system. But I think it illustrates the fact that we're listening to the community, we're providing these resources, and we're innovating every single day to provide that justice.
And knowing that the jail count has been down from 1,500 back when I was a sheriff in the county jail to now, it got at all-time low just under 300, which was shocking to us during this crisis. But we watched that, and what was the impact on the community as far as crime? Really, it was very minimal. So with that being said, numbers have kind of moved back up a little bit, 300s, 400s. But we know now, and having a conversation, maybe there's a reform opportunity there too, that we're going to kind of make a determination, because the cost of confinement is incredible on not only the budget but the taxpayers. And the question is that something that truly is necessary? We want to do it the right way here in Macomb County, and so we're going to continue looking at that and working with our counterparts. And during the public defender thing, I got to give a lot of credit to Judge Massaroni from the Circuit Court, Judge Biernat, Chief Judge of the Circuit Court, and even Judge Hackle over at the 42-2 up in New Baltimore. The three of these judges were very engaged, very involved in this process, and even Rick Troy from Macomb County Bar Association, very helpful in the process of making this happen, amongst many others that were participants to try to figure this out. So we're fortunate. We got some other good things that are happening, kind of unique to this fall season or this fall upon us. And why don't you go ahead and put this little challenge out there, or kind of let people know what we're doing as far as the tree opportunity here in Macomb County.
Make Macomb Your Home has been a wonderful outlet for individuals throughout this entire process of COVID. It's given individuals an opportunity and us to highlight unique community things where people can engage, have a safe environment to really showcase some of the great quality of life elements and the things that make Macomb County special. Well, here in the fall, as we look at the scenic views and vistas that are out there with the leaves changing color, if you go to macombgov.org and click on Make Macomb Your Home, you'll see that we have Macomb County's prettiest tree contest right now. It goes through this Sunday, October 25th, so all you have to do is just snap a picture of a tree, whether it's in your backyard or one of our scenic parks and everything in a natural environment. Post that picture and there's an opportunity to win a basket of fall goodies here from Macomb County.
It's interesting, we're talking about trees here, and back when I was younger, I never really paid attention to trees. Maybe when I was really young, can I climb that one? Yeah. But as I get older, and whether it's in a park or just driving around, every once in a while I'll see something and I look at a tree, whether it's springtime, summertime, or even in the fall, and go, that looks like a perfect tree. And I wonder if that's about maybe getting older.
It's an old man thing. So, it absolutely is.
We'll just say it's maturing.
Yeah.
Maturing
yes.
now. I have better appreciation for the natural beauty.
I guess because as I'm maturing, I do see the beauty in it and everything. But even on the other end of the spectrum, like little kids, they just love collecting leaves.
Yeah.
Like
they do.
Right now in our wagon in the garage, like Danny's got all these leaves, and I'm just like, what are we doing here, guys?
There's something about that. So, but again, what a great, I obviously Make Macomb Your Home. They do some great work at trying to get people to connect and realize, what Macomb County is really all about. And right now is a great time to have such a, I guess, if you will, little competition. And so there's something that you can win, and it's a Make Macomb Your Home gift basket, and we'll get that delivered to you. And I think it's going to be, the voting is going to be people that are online voting for that, not us or anyone.
So what we'll end up doing is after the 25th, we'll kind of close all folks that kind of send in, their pictures and everything. They'll get posted online, and folks will be able to kind of share and like and do all those good things through Make Macomb Your Home. And I think the other good thing is it's another great opportunity to fall in love with Macomb this season.
That's great. Yep, another good website we have here in Macomb County, MakeMacombYourHome.com, and obviously macombgov.org. Always go to that for your information, news source here in Macomb County. And in the meantime, on behalf of myself, JP, and the rest of us here within the county, we want to remind you to keep you and your family safe.